in Tallahassee this coming weekend, and we've got the head coach of the Madison County Cowboys, Bryce Harris. Coach, returning the Cowboys to the state championships for the first time in 2 years, and coach, this is your second year at Madison County, and I know the goal was always to win state championships or get to the state championship game at least. And here you are, your second year at the school, your alma mater as well, and definitely appreciate you being able to take some time to talk to us. And so, I mean, this is your second year there. You come in last year, you had to, had some growing pains, but this year your guys have just been, they have taken everything by the horn and basically did what you needed them to do. And now you're playing for a state title. And so what has it been like so far for y'all in terms of getting back to the state title game and building your guys up for this?
Well, Josh, last year was a trying year, of course, for Madison County football. Going 3-6 is not the customary what they're accustomed to. We had so many games there that could have gone either way, even last year. And so, I think that getting back in January and making a decision that we wanted to work for it was a big part of it. You don't just go to a state championship game, and people don't realize. Some guys think that you can just have the athletes. That's not the case. You got to work for it. And so our kids put their hard hat on, went back to work in January, and it was a very driven group all the way from January till now, and they were bound and determined to prove everybody wrong. That they were a very capable team and could. And could get back to where we wanted to be as a program and as a community.
No, absolutely. And as we had talked to you, it sounds like some of you guys are already getting kind of ready here. It sounds like it. But when you look at it, it's going to be a bit of a shorter week. Y'all actually moved the game up last week in the state semifinals to a Thursday night to kind of prepare for this. So that way y'all had actually had a little bit more rest time and getting prepared for this game. When you look at this thing with the team itself, you talk about talent. It's not you all just talent and you're going to be able to go in. I mean, y'all are a small county. This is rural football. It's Madison County. There's not a lot of people to pick from. It's what you have right there in the county. So, what are the challenges that you think you feel you face? Coaching a program like Madison County compared to programs where you've been at, like a Dunellen, which also again Dunellen, a town that's rural, but obviously more students, and of course your track record also Frostproof, another rural school.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I like the challenge of you have what you have. You're not getting anybody coming in. Even when we were at Dunellen and Frostproof, we didn't gain we didn't lose anybody, but we didn't gain anybody. So now it's just about how much can we develop in the off season, and Madison County's that way. And people have a false idea of what Madison County really is, but I mean, I can assure you, coming back home, it's not what it was when I left back in '93. We're sitting at about 428 kids in our school, and well under the rural area. And so, these kids working hard. I mean, that's the whole thing is that, sometimes everybody thinks that, there's some, you're just bound with athletes, and we have great athletes. I'm not, don't let me hear me say that. But, these guys work super hard. I mean, we work hard in the summer. We had other people say what they want to say, but we had 32 kids not miss a day this summer, and that's pretty impressive. And that has nothing to do with Bryce Harris. That has everything to do with the kids and the community and the expectations.
No, absolutely. And let's talk about this team that's going to be out there playing for a state championship against the defending state champ Hawthorne, which is no stranger to Madison County over the last few years in terms of in the playoffs and state title games or state semifinals. And y'all are a run first team. I mean, the statistics show it right here. Y'all are over 3,000 yards rushing. So what when y'all throw the ball a lot, for y'all, it's how important is it to make sure that you have the guys ready to go? Rotating in and out. That hey, okay, we got to get a fresh set of legs in there so you can get that first down or get that touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, we rotate a lot of kids. we're blessed to have guys that run the ball really hard. I think Xavier Bryant has done a great job of Xavion's been doing a great job of mixing in the pass. He's been very successful when he's thrown the football. We haven't had to throw it a whole heck of a lot this year. We've averaged quite a few yards on the ground, and that's a testament to the guys up front and the guys in the backfield. I mean, we talk all the time about we have to be better without the football than we are with the football. And our guys take pride in blocking and doing the other things that it takes for you to be successful rushing the football. We lost our leading rusher and kind of our heart and soul at the last week of the season when Jason McDaniel went down. And we were without him going throughout the playoffs, and we just had more and more guys step up and take that charge. And so I've been really proud of the way that the kids have responded.
No, absolutely, and of course McDaniel. I mean, to him being out, but that still had a good year on the stats. 816 yards, 10 touchdowns. Want to mention that right there. But you got several guys that at least had 400 yards or more, and that's the key thing right there. Is that it's the next man up, step up, and get in there and play, and get the rushing yards and get the touchdowns, because that's critical in terms of winning the games. When we talk about looking at everything with this team here, before we talk about defense, I mean, the first couple of weeks of the season, y'all didn't even get to play. Y'all had to wait until you went to Georgia to get your first game in. So how did that, in terms of adversity, not being able to get on the field for the first couple of weeks really and be able to play complete games until you went up to Georgia in the border war?
Yeah, I mean, we got the half in with Wakulla. Our varsity played the first half against Wakulla. I felt like we played pretty well. We gave up two kickoff returns for touchdowns, or else it would have been 28-6. And so, we played that game, and then got rained out the next week against Carrollwood Day right before half, and then lost the game against Gabi with the hurricane. And then our kids were so resilient. They were talking about canceling the game on Fitzgerald. And I say they, I was saying administration, and we were talking about it. And, we got 2 days of practice that week and went and played Fitzgerald. But our kids really wanted to give our fans and our community something to think about besides, that hurricane. And, people I know, it's been a lot. It feels like it's been forever ago since that came through. But I mean, it really affected us in Taylor County and Suwannee County. I mean, it was massive destruction. I think even got over in Columbia County and some other areas. So I know Mayo Lafayette got messed up with it a little bit, but I mean, we lost our scoreboard. We lost all of our signage around our field. It was a mess, and our kids got out in the community to help clean up. They got out in the community and gave out waters and meals and all kinds of stuff. I was really proud of the way our kids responded and got out there and served their community.
No, absolutely, and that's the thing I wanted to point out here is that since the hurricane came through, y'all, I mean, out of the 11 games played, you've only lost one, and that was a tight battle with Florida High. Otherwise, you gone through the schedule, you did play some tough teams along the way, a gauntlet of schedule and schools that were bigger than y'all. So, when you look at that schedule, that shows why y'all are here now in this position to go play for a state title. But your defense this year, I mean, 19 interceptions in the 11 games played. I mean, that's pretty impressive right there. Maybe not as many sacks in terms of, defensively on sacks, but interceptions, that's where it seems like y'all seem to be excelling at. So what's special about your defensive backfield?
They make plays. I mean, our guys play, all of our guys play both ways. But, you're saying there's not a lot of sacks, but those quarterback pressures create those interceptions. And so, our D line is pretty special. I really love watching our D line work. They've when we've asked them to answer the bell time and time again, they're not the biggest group, but last year we got mashed a little bit last year, and this year that's not been the case. We've been very, 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 very good against the run. Fitzgerald came in, averaging a ton of yards. I think we held them to 110. We held some other teams to, Swanee, we were able to hold. He broke out and scored one early, and we were able to take away. Union County had 10 yards rushing against us. That's really been the biggest difference is we've been able to make people one dimensional, and when you can make guys one dimensional, then you can get some opportunities in the back end to have some picks and get some good plays, positive plays that way.
No, absolutely. And looking at this, you're going up against a Hawthorne team, defending state champs, and they got a quarterback that can throw in C.J. Ingram. So how do y'all are going to be able to defend that? I mean, again, it's again, we look at the number, in terms of the pressures that you're talking about. How are you going to be able to defend a guy that's like that who can throw the ball and against a team that also has a stout defense as well on the other end? I mean, what is the strategy for Madison County against these defending state champs? I mean, I know again Madison County's been here, done that before, but this is different.
Yeah, I mean they're a great football team. I mean, you just look at the numbers. I mean, it's pretty phenomenal. I mean, I think they're giving up like 7 points a game, maybe. There's going to be tough sledding on the offensive side, and teams that have been traditional guys that have been able to run the football haven't been able to run the football against them. I mean, you look at Williston; they had a little bit of success running the football, but it was tough sledding, and offensively they're explosive. The quarterback is phenomenal. They have receivers all over the place. You have to cover everybody. I know 2 gets most of the pub, but I mean, they got 15, they got 8, they got all kinds of dudes that can play. If you just try to, I mean, even the tight ends come in with number 0, Zoc kid, and the number 12, and 12 I think is probably their linebacking core is phenomenal anyway, and 12 when he can walk up on the line of scrimmage and play. He's just a great football player. So they got so many weapons offensively. They're so good defensively. I think we got a really big challenge ahead of us. They're a very complete football team. I think people neglect too that we're watching all these films and they change the game with turnovers and special teams. They're really good on special teams. They return a lot of kicks. There's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a super big challenge. Playing some good teams that we've played throughout the year, I think will help a little bit with that. But I mean, I know nobody expects us to win, so we're just going to go in there and play as hard as we can for as long as we can.
Well, we'll see what happens come Thursday night. That's an 8:00 game, by the way. So the game the Ken Riley Field at Bragg Memorial Stadium on the campus of Florida A&M University. I mean, Coach, it's not too far down the road for y'all to go there. It's a thing, but how do you feel about this? The state championships being on a college campus for the first time in a long time.
I think that's awesome. I've always loved it. I can remember going and watching games at Doak Camel and of course Ben Hill Griffin and all these places. They used to be in the Citrus Bowl. I think that's a great thing. I mean, it's cool to go into a big stadium and get to play. I mean, I think the atmosphere at Gene Cox was really good for the last couple of years for the small schools, but getting to play at a college stadium is a cool thing for the kids. They really are excited about it, and I think it'll be a good thing.
No, absolutely, and of course, your fans will definitely make the trip west, make that short trip over to Tallahassee, because I know your fan base is really loud, and they definitely will show up, and definitely a community that has been resilient this year. Of course, after the hurricane went through, Idalia going through, that y'all have shown a lot of resiliency, and we're glad to see you back at the state championship game, and we definitely wish y'all the best of luck come Thursday night against Hawthorne in the 1R state championship.
Well, thank you, Josh. We appreciate you, man.
No, appreciate it. That's head coach Price Harris of the Madison County Cowboys. They're playing in the Class 1R state championship game on Thursday night against Hawthorne. That's an 8 p.m. kickoff at Ken Riley Field at Bragg Memorial Stadium on the campus of Florida A&M University. Stay tuned to FloridaHSFootball.com for more interviews and content for the 2023 state championships. Until then,